Some new shapes to learn. Not many people on. I'm wondering if everybody's doing stuff today. People are shopping, really? Imagine. With 6 feet of separation, how long are the lines around Walmart? I haven't seen any ads. Oh, I haven't watched any TV. I haven't seen any ads for Black Friday or anything like that. But, all right. Hey, John. Nice story. 37 years of marriage. Good job, man. Running that race. 3 grown kids. Good. Hey, Jay. What's going on? Well, people starting to show up. Jeff, good to see you. There they are. Ollie, good to see you. It's funny because I got like this. I got thumbs down on the Alex videos. It was really funny. It was like, well, people don't like Alex, man. What is up with that? Hey, Hook is here. Good to see you, Hook. You got the day off. No classes, no school, no work today. We should have I wonder how many people we're gonna have here. Happy Dollars here. I know, right? How could anyone not like Alex? He's so knowledgeable too. He really does deep digs on things. So as you can see, we've got some new shapes. The nice thing about the new shapes is one is pentatonic form, one's pentatonic number 1. So we get to play one again. We had one when we were G down here. Something's weird with my amp sound. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on a second. There's that. I must have changed this somehow. Did I do something to this? Where's the delay? There should be some delay. Oh, I turned off the delay. I think that's why it got loud suddenly. Yeah, it's weird how the delay takes away so much volume. Yeah, much better. Okay. And I had 2 copyright strikes on our track, basically on when I was doing, and one of them again was when I was talking about the roots of each chord. I remember just a few days ago, we were playing the blues, and I said, okay, now play the G note, now play the D note, play the C note over the C chord, this D, and we're just playing the roots of the chords. And I'm talking over this the whole time. And it was a copyright infringement, they said. And the song was called Once Upon a Time, and it was a copyright infringement filed by um, CD Baby, which I'm like, okay, CD Baby will. I've registered songs through them, and they will put them on all the streaming and register them all over the world and everything like that. And you actually have to pay extra to get the YouTube coverage. And I disputed it, that one, and the other one. So I opened up the other one, and it was the same song, and it was when I walked out of the room and let you jam because I had to go to the bathroom, and so I left the jam track running. So there was something about the jam track that was exactly like, at least a part of it was exactly. And on that one, what I did was, like I said, YouTube's really cool. They allowed you to mute the section, which I wouldn't mute it. I just allowed them to cut it out. So there'll be a gap when I get up to go to the bathroom, which is kind of cool because I probably would have done that if I had the wherewithal to do it. I would have cut that out anyway. So anyway, so that was there was the two strikes for the same song, and so what I did was I made some changes to the jam track. Instead of being at 70 beats, now I've got it at 70.35 beats per minute, which is silly. I added a couple notes here and there in the piano, and I made the bass move around a little more, and I changed the drums a little bit. So hopefully now it won't trigger that. We'll see. But it's pretty frustrating that it's literally a jam track that I created. It wasn't one that I downloaded from anywhere. I created it. You're right. Whoever gives my son a thumbs down might get a different finger back. Jeff Height says, yeah, no, I'm kidding. They were thumbs downing me. They were probably saying, hey, let Alex play. So we had a lot of new people on there, though. It was kind of funny. It was like, wait a minute, who's that? And then, so we're going to get a chance here to review Pentatonic 4, which is nice. And then the minor 6 thing is... Oh, no. Wait a minute. Did I mess up? No, it's right. It's right. It's very, very... It's got some great usable... I love this. That little section's great. This isn't bad. It's nice. So it's got usable snippets. But as a whole, it's not much fun to play. And you can practice it like that. But when the rubber meets the road and you're actually doing a gig, you'll probably never ever play it like that. You might just go, make some reference to it more than, like I said, I always like to point out the difference between the chords when the chord change happens, right? So that F to E is the very, very thing that we're changing when we go from a minor pentatonic to a minor 6 pentatonic. So those are the things. Hey, Pepper, how's it going? Oh, and Holly, you like the songs, those old songs that I wrote. That one called Hope Ann was one of the first songs I wrote. It was on our first record. And the other guitar player in the band really liked it. So he put it in his other band's show too. So that song got played quite a bit. It was an audience favorite. We did a lot of youth camps and things like that. And they liked it because basically I wrote it for this girl that I went in elementary school that was her name was Hope Ann. And she was definitely the ugly duckling of the class, and a lot of people made fun of her. And I never made fun of her, but I probably did. I mean, in junior high or whatever, it was the 4th grade or 5th grade, 6th grade. But I felt bad. I never defended her, and so the song was kind of about that, about basically, asking God to give me His eyes to see people the way He sees them, and not the way that we see them. And that was what that song was about. So, yeah, that was the first song. Yeah, Hope Ann. So I didn't get any. So far, I haven't had any copyright strikes on it because I don't think it's uploaded anywhere. And then the other song was called Friends. And both of these songs my wife sang, so I was singing them low, but both of them were songs that my wife sang. And the other one was called Friends, and I kind of wrote that about Beth and her sister, who just passed away actually. So about a couple of years ago now, but so that was yeah. I don't know. My songs tend to be, about things, not so much pop love songs. Yeah, I mean that was the song wasn't about, obviously about that, but it wasn't so much that I made fun of her, but other kids would, and then but I didn't step in, and when I was a kid, I didn't step in to defend her. Of course, that would have been probably suicide in junior high to defend someone, but I wasn't that person, so I felt bad, so I wrote that song later. Um, oh, did I just kind of make fun of her? Of who? Oh no. From Jeff, minor sevenths. Let's see, minor sevenths. Where's that question? Wow, it's going up fast here. Jeff, where are you? Slow down with it. Oh, we do have a drinking game. Oh, are minor seventh chords considered dominants? Like, no, they are not. Minor seventh chords are not considered dominants. So that was an easy question to answer. However, the minor pentatonic works great over it because it already has a flat third. Minor seventh has a flat third. So G7 would be this. G, B, D, F. And that's the 5 chord of the C chord. Right? But G minor 7, also very jazzy sounding, is G, B flat, D, F. And it's 4 of the 5 notes in G minor pentatonic. So G minor pentatonic works great over G minor 6. And that's always something you can do is if you want to try a scale over a chord, just play the chord. And your memory will. Yeah, that early morning fog, man. I tried to get some decent sleep last night, and I probably could have slept another 2 hours, but I knew I had to get up for you guys because it was like if I sleep past 9 and just don't do this, you all are going to be like worried. Is Tom okay? So I'll sleep in tomorrow maybe. But I took some NyQuil last night, and it just gives me a fog when I wake up in the morning and I'm all dried out. In fact, I'm going to go through this coffee too fast. I'm going to run out of fluids before I finish. So we're going to go over these scales, these 4 scales. I'm going to see how many people we have on. Probably less than normal. Yeah, 21, 22. Not bad. Almost to 85,000 subscribers, Bruce. Getting there. And I'm here like Bruce is saying, I'm here try to be here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think we're okay next week. Christmas is on a Friday this year, I think. So we'll see what happens there. Yes, Jeff, exactly. A minor 7, D minor 7. So if I played our blues progression with minor 7th chords, then you'd be playing like a G minor 7, C minor 7, and then D minor 7. I guess you could call that a minor blues, which is not unheard of. But the nice thing about minor blues is you can just use a G minor diatonic. All the notes in that chord fit over all 3 of those chords. So, no, my voice is funny because I took NyQuil last night, and when you really sleep like that, I probably slept the whole night with my mouth open. So all these spiders probably crawled into my mouth or something. So that's probably where the sound is from. I'm going to give you nightmares. But yeah, A minor, D minor 7, E minor 7, that's the same key. That's basically key of C. Because in any major key, there are 3 minor chords. And there are 3 minor 7th chords. But and there's 3 major chords in any major key. However, there's only 1 dominant 7th chord. And that's in the 5th position. So that's why when we play the blues, we're technically, and I don't want to ever overanalyze the blues, but we're technically in 3 different keys. Okay, when we're playing the G chord, that's the 5 of C, so we're technically in the key of G major. But that's why I showed you G Mixolydian a while back. So you had the scale form that fits over the G7 chord a little bit better. You can think G Mixolydian rather than think C major, but avoid the C. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because the C would be one of the worst, worst notes to play over a G7 chord. So to think do re mi over the G7 chord would be kind of weird. And then the C7 chord is the 5 of the F key of F, and the D7 is the 5 of the key of G. So you're technically in 3 different major keys in a standard blues progression. Now you'll notice that like Santana would do minor, like Black Magic Woman is basically kind of a D minor blues. Kind of a D minor blues. It's probably not a 12-bar blues. I think it's like 8 bars. He works around, but he uses D minor. Right? So that's a great example of using one scale over a chord progression. And he uses D minor over that D minor blues. So there's no offending. Hey, uniquely good to see you. Yep. Okay, yeah. I was. Let's see. I don't have anything here that I could do. I was just basically doing C, D, E, F in the C major scale. So C, D, E, F. Oh, I already uploaded these scale shapes to the Discord. I did that just 5 minutes before I went on air. So yeah, uniquely I went C, D, E, F. So I'm 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 6th fret. So we're excluding the pinky. If you want to get the pinky in there, you could maybe go. Get to a certain speed, you're going to really start having to work on your right hand. So it's kind of what this. It's this thing where your left hand can play this fast and your right hand can play this fast. So you got to work on your right hand, and now your right hand can play this fast, but your left hand can't keep up. So you got to work on your left hand. So it's kind of this. It's this creep, this slow creep up with speed. And I think the older you are, the harder it's going to be to get to a certain speed level. I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm just saying that that's probably a reality, because it would be like running. If I started running now, I wasn't a very good runner when I was a kid, but I'm never going to be able to be as fast as I was not running, as a kid. So that probably is going to translate to guitar too. But that's not intended to discourage you. What may help you there is that when I was 15, I wanted to be the world's fastest guitar player. I mean, I loved Al Di Meola, and he was, I can't even remember the phrase now. And hey, MD. Yeah, I'm just waiting for people to show up, MD. That's just, I'm waiting for all the. So we're gonna start on it here in a second. I'm just kind of answering questions at this point, and I'm always all over the place. So if you don't like that, you probably don't want to watch my channel, and I'm fine with that. But I wanted to be the world's fastest guitar player, and but when I actually started making a living playing guitar, no one ever, not even once, asked me to play really, really fast. I mean, occasionally somebody's like, "Hey, can you shred on this song or whatever?" But basically, you're not getting paid to play fast. You get paid to play what's best for the song or for the moment. So, but MD's holding my feet to the fire. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go over these 3 scales. And let me see how many people we have right now, because we're up to 29. Yeah, 27. That's fine. I don't expect a whole lot of people today. So the first pentatonic, or first shape we're going to use, we're going to be at the 10th fret. So if you're playing acoustic guitar, you might be getting really close to the top position, and I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to write out the next one in open position as well. But we're at the basically 10th fret. We're going to have on the G minor 6, we're going to have to go down to the 9th fret for one note, as you can see. That's why I positioned all the scales on the 9th fret, if you're wondering. I just wanted them to be able to see how they compare with each other. I think actually sometimes I wish I could put them like this, you know, because I think you could see better what's changing. It's a very subtle change. Oops. It's a very subtle change from G minor to G minor pentatonic to G minor 6 pentatonic, which of course that minor 6 look like it says meth. G meth pentatonic. And you know what? If ever there was a chord you would call, or a scale you would call G meth pentatonic, it's pretty much that one right there, because that thing is ugly. That's an ugly scale shape. We're not going to have a lot of fun playing that one, but we're going to start with a G minor right now. So go put your first finger on the 10th fret of the 6th string. You still watch. You know, MD puts up with my squirrel. You know. So, thank you, MD. Okay, so the problem with this note too is it kind of gets woofy in this room, so it makes the distortion. I apologize. So 10th fret, then 13th fret with a pinky. So 10, 13, again 10, 13, then 10, 12. 10, 12. Here's a little different here. We're going to go 11, 13, and 11, 13. I'm sorry, 10, 13. So we have some redundancy here, right? 10, 10, 13, 10, 13, which is nice. Nice little box there. Okay. And then we have another box, the next two strings, 10, 12, 10, 12. And uniquely, this is that box right there would be a really good shape to practice all over the fretboard. Practice down the first fret for speed. Now once you got that down, you can add a string. You can add another string. But basically start out. Okay, so we got 10, 12, 10, 12. And then again, the top two strings are a little bit, are not as consistent, but we have, this is a B flat, so 11, 13, 10, 13. Let's see, I'm using lights. So these are 10s. Where's the question? Dang, it goes by so fast. From unique. Dang, I missed it. Well, anyway, yeah, if you're asking, oh. Okay, no, that's, oh. Let's see. Dang, I don't see the question. That's so weird. But the string gauge I'm using here are 10s, and they're Elixir electrics, and I think I use, so you have polyweb and nanoweb. Polyweb is kind of the original, and it's a thicker coating, and it gets a little messy. Somebody just was complaining, just saying that they like the strings, but they don't like where it wears out on the pick. And it's fine if it wears out on the pick, because you know the coating comes off at the pick point. It just gets a little ugly there sometimes. But I'm using nanowebs, which are a thinner coat. Okay, let's do it descending. But these are 10s, and I think they end at 46. Is that right? I used to use 9s back in the day when I was a kid. And 11s, yeah, on acoustic, I think I use 12s. Yeah, I use 12s. I use lights. Those are, I think, 12 on top. Extra lights are 10 on top on acoustic. But yeah, light strings are really technically medium, right? I mean, there's basically, they market three main gauges. There's light, or extra light, light, and medium. But you can kind of think of them as light, medium, and extra, or light, medium, and heavy. Now you can get heavier than medium strings, but you know that would be 11s on electrics. So I think on top. Okay, let's do this scale descending. 13, 10, 13, 11. And then we have some redundancy here. We got 12, 10, 12, 10. Hey, AJ. And then 13, 10, 13, 10. Yeah, we did have a great Thanksgiving. Got lots of leftovers, which is the best part of it. Okay, so again, let's do it at descending again since we did it twice ascending. 13, 10, 13, 11, 12, 10, 12, 10, 13, 10, 13, 10. Okay, so that's the G minor pentatonic. And that's the pentatonic number 4. When we were learning them, here was 1, here's 2, here's 3, and here's 4. Now the G's here are there, the 10th fret. Put your finger on the 10th fret of the 5th string. That's a root, that's a G root. So that's a good note to know is there. But even better note is this one here at the 12th fret. And that makes sense. Now remember I said we spent 3 days or 3 lessons on the previous position. This position, this area of the neck is where a lot of people have gaps in their knowledge of the fretboard, or at least their memory of the fretboard, right? Knowing the notes. Like they can get here maybe, and then they can maybe get to there, and then here they got some gaps, and then here they're fine because that's just eat at Denny's get bad eggs all over again. And if you go down a whole step from each one of those, you can get this note at the 10th fret, which is kind of where we're at. But this G note, that's open G, 12th fret, G, same note. Okay, the 12th fret should be, if your guitar is working properly, the 12th fret should be the same note as the open string, except up an octave, obviously. Yes, and the blues note on this one would be on the 3rd string. No, I'm sorry, you're right. On the 2nd string, sorry. It would be the 14th fret. Exactly. But here's the thing: is if I'm gonna play like, I'm not gonna play this scale like this. I'm probably gonna see what I did. I moved my whole hand up a fret, but I'm not even playing the 10th fret. So if I'm there and I've got my 2nd finger on that G note, play that, and then play the B flat, and then play the C. I can easily get to that C sharp, or I can slide. Holly likes it when I do grace notes. She likes grace notes. Like the rest of us, we all need grace. Or you can bend up a little bit if you're not playing acoustic. Or if you got light strings on your acoustic, you might be able to do that. Now, the blues note is easier on the lower one. It's right here. That's a great one. So it's right there. I won't isolate that finger because I don't want to flip off my audience. I want this to be friendly for all viewers. Hey, Rich, what's going on? Okay, you can finish this later. But we're going to be talking about you the whole time. So here's the 12th fret, 10, 12, 11, 10, 13, 10. But I love doing stuff like that where you even skip the 5th and just play. It just sounds so exotic. Okay, now let's do the dreaded G minor 6 or the G meth pentatonic. Was it you, Holly, that saw that? Somebody, I just looked up and it looked like it said meth, and it's like, oh yeah, it does kind of look like. And then somebody said, oh yeah, I've been thinking that the whole time. Oh man, I'm running out of coffee. I gotta Beth bring me a Diet Coke or something. Where's my phone? Oh man, what did I do with my phone? It's all right. There are no guitar player emergencies in this world. Back when I managed an apartment building, I had to keep track of my phone. Like I had to have it on me all the time because if somebody had a broken pipe, water was flooding their apartment, I kind of had to get someone on that. So, but now that I'm not in management anymore, I don't have to worry about that. Property management. Okay, so the G minor 6 pentatonic this is going to be weird, but we're gonna flog our way through it. We're gonna utilize this more in kind of a snippet context, and probably not so much today as much as from, oh, it's cold in Madrid, I'm bummed. Barcelona had the greatest weather. We were in Barcelona in November, and it was just gorgeous. But that's quite a ways from Madrid. And I think Madrid's at pretty high altitude too, right? Is Madrid? Educate me here. D-guitar. So, okay, here we go. On the 10th fret, 10, 12. There's our E. See, that's the difference. Before it was 10, 13, right? We had D, F, D, F. But we're taking all the Fs. If you look at the first scale, right there. Ooh, I did it first shot. The difference between the first scale and the second scale. See, this is the minor pentatonic. This is the minor 6 pentatonic, okay? So if you're if you've got if you look at that, the only difference between these two is the F becomes an E. All right, and that's the sixth. That's the thing we're making. Okay, so 10. So I know it's confusing because I'm referring to these things, and I can refer to these two notes 4 different ways. I can say first finger, third finger. I can say 10th fret, 10th fret, 12th fret. I could say D, E. I could say 5th and 6th, the 5th and 6th of the key. So I kind of go back and forth between all of those, and all of those are good to know. But anyway, it's I understand sometimes it's like, what? Just apologize. Okay, and then the next phrase on the 5th string is 10, 13. And that's the G. There's the root. Remember, there's our G. But remember, we're not playing. This is not over the G chord now. We're playing this over the C chord, so we need to find some C's. So there's the G. Here's the B flat. Okay, and that hasn't changed. And then the next 2 notes we haven't changed. That's 10, 13. 10, 12. And the 10 is your C. There's your C note. Yeah, many names for the same thing. Exactly, Jeff. Oh, let me put up the Discord link. Yep, because I just uploaded these. I got it right here. I just put up these shapes already. They're already up there, which is great. And all of them are up there. Everything I create for this live stream, and we have 34 watching, 38 watching. That's awesome. Everything I create for this live stream, whether it's handwritten stuff that I scan, I put up there. And it's in Tom's bookmarks. So maybe do a little intro of yourself if you think of it. We've got like, what is it? Dennis, we have like 220 people on the Discord side. It's pretty cool. Members. I don't know. Let's see. Online 21. So a lot of people are online. Somewhere I saw a number that said how many members there were, how many joins. And that maybe some of them would be the same people. Some people have probably fallen off. But yeah, it's crazy. So, all right. So let's do this. Let's go back. Sorry, get my windows ordered. Okay. So let's just do this, the lower 3 strings to kind of get the feel of this shape a little bit. In fact, we're going to end on this note, but we're going to go ahead and play the D. We're going to end on C though. So go 10, 12, 10, 13, 10, 12, and then back to 10. And that's kind of a cool lick. I'm not digging it. It's kind of fun to play. Okay. Now it's going to get a little weirder. So let's go to the 4th string. And we're playing the 10, 12 on the 4th string. And then we're going to jump down to the 5th, or to the 9th and go to 12. Right? And that's 1, in the key of C, that's 1, 2, 3, 5. C, E, or C, D, E, G. So all I'm doing there is I'm playing 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 1, 2, 3, 6. It's kind of a melodic motif, you could call that. That's the motif, and then I make it a variation on it for melodic purposes. Yeah, Bruce, you're working on that cigar box guitar, and I saw you like, yeah, I'm never gonna make another one like this. I'm like, oh man, I really gotta appreciate it now. I better notice every detail. Like, Bruce, I open it up and I go, oh yeah, this is cool. Okay, so where's my strat? Okay, so anyway, I should totally do that in the live stream and be like, Bruce would be like, woo, and be like, guitar pick tears. I gotta get a blue guitar pick to do guitar pick tears. Just glue it on your face. So anyway, I wouldn't do that to you, Bruce. I really appreciate all the work you put into it. I hope you're learning stuff along the way too. I love learning, obviously, and that Spark amp makes watching your live stream a great experience. I hear your sound and my guitar sound through. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's cool. That works great. So we can kind of jam together. So we've got that snippet there, which is great. You know, if we play the G minor pentatonic, remember that was 10, 12, 10, 12. And then if we go to the G minor 6 pentatonic, so we have that change. You can see the F go down to E. It's very obvious. Okay, but let's start on that. Oh, I gotta get rid of this Discord window. Not close it, but I just gotta click off of it. Okay. If we go from there, it's really weird. We're going basically 9, 12 to 11, 13. Like, I don't know that I would ever play that snippet, that segment. I would definitely play this. But that's no different. I'm playing 12, 11, and 13 on the second and third string. That's no different than the G minor pentatonic. That snippet of the G minor 6 pentatonic is the same as the G minor pentatonic. Consequently, because there's no F here to go to E. So that's a great little snippet. That's, you know, you'd have to jump down there to really down to the 9th fret to, and that's fine if you play this with your second for, right? Or I might highlight the difference between the G7 chord and the C7 chord by going like that. So, oh wow, using non-standard inlay. I didn't ask for. I asked for dots though, because yeah. So I guess you could have just done a Sharpie. Hopefully, I'll notice the difference. Darren wishes he was a neighbor with Bruce. Yeah, you guys could trade tools and stuff, right? Okay, so let's get to the end of this scale so we can move on. But basically, so we got that 9, 12, and then 11, 13, and then we're going to finish off just like, in fact, all three. Oh no, we actually finish off with a B. Now we get that E up here again, which is nice. We got D and E. You play D, F, and E, and that would be highlighting the difference between the G minor pentatonic and the G meth pentatonic. The G minor 6 pentatonic, okay? Is this a topic of open discussion? Yes, it shouldn't be, but we're always discussing everything. Oh, not everything. Everything guitar. I don't want to talk politics or religion or sex. Those are I agree with Emily Post, at least when it comes to live streams. So, Pepper has a question. Oh, Pepper. Question. What kind of Fender electric guitar would be a good starter off guitar? I mean, I'm a big Strat fan. So, like with Fender Electrics, you've got basically 4 main guitars. You get a Stratocaster, a Telecaster, a Jazzmaster, and a Jaguar. Those are kind of their 4 main known brands. And I feel like the Stratocasters are the most versatile. If you're really into country, then a Telecaster would be the way to go. And I think if you can afford a Mexican one, they're pretty good. The Mexican relics are really kind of cool. And you might be able to find a used one for around $500 on Reverb or something. An American Strat, and I'm a big fan of cheap Tellies. Or cheap Strats, like Squires or stuff like that. And those are fine too. You can find those for under $100 at Guitar Center or whatever. And that would get you an electric guitar in your hands. I don't really have a problem with the workmanship on them for the most part. And you can always upgrade from there. So that, but I like Strats as far as Fenders go. And you can run the gamut from anywhere from $100 to, a couple $1,000. But the quality is going to be vastly different. So you'll probably get more opinions in the live chat than you will from me. I'm kind of wishy-washy when it comes to hard opinions on guitars. In fact, somebody emailed me about acoustics, and I haven't replied yet because I'm like, I need to create a blanket reply that I can just copy and paste every time I get that question. Because actually, yeah, Jay likes Telecasters. And you can see I have a couple Tellies. I have that telly there, you can't see, but behind the scales is it looks like a brown telly, but it's really copper, and that's a baritone telly with a humbucker in it. But yeah, I think sonically too, the Strats are more versatile. You know, got the blues, jazzy tone there, and then you got more rock kind of, you know. And you get the out of phase sounds, which is when you have two pickups on. It gets a kind of a thin, glassy sound, which is great for some stuff. So, okay. So we got all the way to the top on this. Let's go one note at a time on the G meth pentatonic. And here we go. So first finger on the 10th fret. 10, 12, 10, 13, 10, 12, 9, 12, 11, 13, 10, 13. Not a very hand-friendly scale. Let's go backwards. 13, 10, 13, 11, 12, 9, 12, 10, 13, 10, 12, 10. It sounds kind of cool over the C chord. Well, I'll do it in a second. I'll do some more jamming and you can kind of hear it. Okay, the last one is a D minor pentatonic. Oh, we're so thankful for this scale, especially after the last one. So this is the pentatonic number 1, which we all probably know pretty well, I would hope. Oh yeah, Duncan, the little 59s. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can see where that. You're in the bridge. Yeah, bridge. Yep. Okay, so here we go. Pentatonic number 1, the D minor pentatonic. 10, 13, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12. So we got a lot of redundancy there. And then 10, 13, 10, 13. Let's do it again. I'm going to call out the notes. D, F, G, A, C, D, F, G, A, C, D, and then F. And backwards it'd be 13, 10, 13, 10. And then 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10. And then 13, 10. Okay? Yeah, the third scale is by far the easiest. Okay, so now I'm going to put on the jam track. I'm going to play a little bit around and try to, and so what the jam track is, this chord progression right here, okay? So the whole premise of these lessons are, this is not a rule, it's just to give you more options. So over the G7, I'm going to play G minor pentatonic, the first scale. Whenever there's a C chord in the progression, I'm going to play that C7 chord. I'm going to play G meth pentatonic, or G minor 6th pentatonic, okay? And whenever there's a D chord, I'm going to play the D minor. And here are the scales up here, and you can see the difference between G minor and G minor 6th pentatonic is just that the F becomes an E. And the difference between G minor and D pentatonic, and notice I started the D minor pentatonic on a G just so you can see them line up better, is that the B flat up here becomes an A down here, okay? So we're making minor, subtle changes to a known scale to accommodate the chord changes. That's the whole lesson, basically. So look, you make one little change, and even though the chord changes and we change tonal centers and all that, we've got something that works really well. Yeah, Jay, that's so true. How does Cage play into this? Well, for example, right now, if I'm thinking a G chord, I'm seeing this G shape right here. So this is the A form of the G. When it goes to C, I'm visualizing maybe the D shape, which is the fifth letter in the word caged, and this is a C chord. And then when I play over, what's the last chord? The D chord. It's the E form. Okay, so I might actually be visualizing these three forms in the blues. It'd be the A form, this D form, and the E form. They would all fit like that. Okay, right there where I'm at. Does that make sense? Somebody asked that. Oh, that was Darren. Okay. Okay, so let me just play the jam track a little bit. And I made some changes in the jam track you might notice. because I got anytime I let the jam track play, it got copyright infringement. So I changed the bass a little bit in the keyboard. So now I'm in G minor over the G chord. There's that E note. Now I'm changing D minor. C, or the G mix minor 6, pentatonic, to G minor pentatonic, to D major minor pentatonic. It's hard to do, say, and play at the same time. Okay, so C, the minor 6, G minor pentatonic. I love that a little bit. Yeah, doesn't it though? Oh shoot, I did the wrong. I was looking at your statement and I totally did the wrong scale at that moment. So what's happening there is like the guitar player syndrome, okay? So I get in that moment where, okay, oh, cool, I get to play pentatonic number 1. Are you kidding me? So I'm over the D chord and I'm like, woo! I'm playing like, a million miles an hour. And I go back down to 55 when I get to the G minor 6 pentatonic. Oh, shoot, that stupid scale. So I'm doing what everyone else would do. It's like, woo, get to the fun part and go crazy, and then, oh, shoot, now I got to get to the minor 6 or whatever. So, okay, so that's what's happening. I'll do it again. Basically saying what I'm doing as I go, and I'm getting my windows in order here. We got 44 people online. That's great. Good to see you. Welcome. So I'm playing at G chord. I'm playing the G minor 6. To C chord, I'm going to the G minor 6 pentatonic. Getting that E note in there. Back to G minor 6, the top one, or G minor pentatonic. Sorry, G minor. Now the D minor. To the back to the minor 6. Blues note. I notice I pointed out the E to the F and to the G. Blues note. There's that minor 6. Back to the G minor, which is easier up here. Okay, so enough of me showing off, trying to impress all my friends. Wait, sorry. Okay, so basically what I was doing, the meth's 9. No, meth 6, not meth 9. Yeah, it's a great tool to have. This is, like I said, these are not rules. Like, you don't. It's not like, well, okay, when you go to the C7 now, you have to play the the minor 6 pentatonic. No. It's just like, here's a cool trick, you know. And again, it's all about taking that fork in the soloing road where there's one fork where it's like, okay, what's the best scale for this song? Well, okay, if we were to set on one, it would probably be G minor pentatonic, obviously, or G minor blues, G blues. That gives you a lot of options. You can make that work over all 3 chords, no problem. But there's going to be times where notes rub against each other, you know, and you're going to wish you had a different option at that moment. And so these are the different options. And that minor 6th pentatonic at times is a little befuddling, but in small, if you just aware of, where that F is in this case, because we're in the key of G, where the F is, and then down, go 1 fret down, and you get that E. Now you've got a note that just is a little sweeter sounding over the C7 chord. Now, B.B. King would use that scale over both the G and the C. Okay, he would use it, so he would do. He would use it over both, so G minor 6 also works great over the G7 chord, the G minor 6 pentatonic scale. So that's kind of where, that's kind of the whole premise for these particular lessons. It's not to say you have to use this scale for this chord. Okay, and then the D minor pentatonic, the whole point of that is, again, you're only changing one note in the G minor to get to D minor. And when you make that change, you get that note, and that's the one where I always talk about, I always think of Stevie Ray Vaughan. And I'm sure there's a million other guitar players. In fact, I did a co-live stream Wednesday night with Mark Ween, who showed up the other day on our live stream. Mark Ween is also teaches he's a guitar teacher. He teaches at a conservatory, and his forte is he's far more into the blues than I am. I'm not a blues player, so I'm not even pretending to be a blues player. My pick grip. Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm horrible at that, Andy. I am so. You know, my hand gets so sore sometimes because I feel like I'm gripping the pick wrong. But I'm kind of doing this thing where it's kind of a tripod where I've got a thumb and then 2 fingers on it. So sometimes I hit the string. If I want a really round sound, or if I'm really going to try to go fast, I may actually turn the pick, instead of being flat, I turn it so it's like at a 45-degree angle to the strings. So the pick is kind of rolling over the string. And I usually anchor my hand, which is really bad for a couple reasons. Actually, I'm getting better at not anchor. I'm trying to play further up here. I feel like it sounds better here than it does down here. It's a little warmer. This is a little brittle back here. Kind of like the pickups are. The same thing. You know, if I go to this pickup. You can do that with an acoustic guitar. You pick up an acoustic guitar and you pick down by the bridge, you get one sound, you pick up here. The problem with picking further up the fretboard is the strings are squishier, so it's harder to go fast. A lot of times if you're really going to go fast, you bring your hand back, and the strings offer a lot more resistance. You're not having to wait for them to swing back into position so you can pluck them again. One of the reasons why it's bad to anchor your hand here on acoustic is because you're deadening the top, okay? And on electric, I'm bending the tremolo arm. So I'm like, because I'm pushing on the tremolo arm. Damn it. So so that's, but then sometimes I'm using, more of a pick grip like this. It's just, I don't have it all depends on how, also I have different picks that I use. So I got this really thick, look how thick that thing is. This is a gypsy pick, but it's great for fast stuff. But I mean, try to pick fast up here at the 12th fret. It's like the strings just. Was that Tom? So, but you pick down here at the bridge, and it's the string offers a lot of resistance. So, the pick really affects the sound. This is a thinner pick, very much thinner, but it's got bumps all over it. This is the pick that the Edge uses to get his, to get that weird sound that he gets. No, actually, when I'm strumming, so that's one of the things I do talk about that. In fact, I've talked about it in videos in the past. When I'm strumming, I hold the pick very loose and expose a lot of it. So when I'm strumming, if I'm playing rhythm, I'm still doing the tripod thing, but look how much pick I've got exposed. See that? And I'm holding the pick very loose. You could literally pull it right out of my hands. But then when I go to solo, I tighten down, I shorten the, and I'm using very little pick. You barely see the pick. And so I'm right, and I'm holding it very tight. You couldn't grab it. So rhythm and for me, now there's guys that have definitive opinions on this stuff, and they'd be like, well, the only way you should really hold a pick is X this way, And I'm kind of like, yeah, I mean, whatever. If it works for you, it works, but you may have to experiment to find that thing that works for you. What works for me won't work for someone else, and what works for someone else won't work for me sometimes. But yeah, I use a lot of picks, and I'll even use like a... This is actually a triangle mallet for hitting a triangle in the orchestra. And let's see. Tom, is having a finger rest under the first string for stability okay? Oh, like this? Yeah, I see a lot of players do that. And what that helps you create is an ability, if you put your pinky in the same spot every time, it creates the ability to kind of stab at individual strings. You kind of have a feel for where each string is, so you can jump around strings much easier, I think. I sometimes do that. I'm trying to do that more with like bluegrass, because I see a lot of bluegrass players do that. But on acoustic guitar, you do run the risk of kind of slightly muting, very, 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 very slightly muting the top. On a classical guitar, you don't even want to touch the top or the back. You set the guitar on your lap like this and let it tilt back so that the edge of the guitar is touching your body. So that you're not touching the front or the back of the guitar when you're playing classical guitar properly. And that allows both the back and the front to resonate sympathetically. But most bluegrass players are standing up, so that back of the guitar is going to be touching their body, so that you can't really do anything about that. Well, if they're sitting down, they could do it. But anyway. Leo is in the house. Oh, that's funny. Well, maybe it's the Irish in me that does that. Yeah, I don't know. And sometimes, like I said, though I'm doing it like this, which is really weird because I catch myself. My hand will be like, ow, because I think what I'm doing is I'm squeezing the pick too tight a lot of times, and I'm just like, oh man, my hand gets so tired. You would think, as much as I play in a day, that you wouldn't get tired, but it does. It can get. Kind of specific muscles can get very, very exhausted. So, and I figure that's only going to be happening more as I get older. I'm 59, so I don't want to say that's old, but it sounds old because I still think of myself as 22. So, like me and Taylor Swift. I haven't met Taylor Swift, but I have replaced her guitars before. So, okay. So we've done all of these pentatonics, right? We've done them all. Let's find a snippet that makes the change. And is there the bottom two strings down here. The top two strings does. Okay, let's do the top two strings. Okay, so for G minor, we have this snippet. We don't have a root, so here's the G. Yeah, exactly. I'm 39 with 20 years experience. Gosh, I know. I remember when 39 sounded old. When I turned 39, I thought, oh man, I'm 39. Are you kidding me? So this is, but I've only just begun. My career didn't get going until I was in my 40s. So I got to finish this race strong. But the great thing is I work with people that are, 20, 20 in their 20s. And so, and they don't seem to mind working with me. They like having me around. Now, I don't know if that's going to be true 10 years from now, but if they're in their 30s and they don't mind working with me, then I'll work with them still, Rick and I are pretty much in the same boat. Somebody else was just saying they were 59. John Kindred is 59. And he quite a career path there. In England, it's so interesting, the jobs. And, the thing about England that I really, in some ways, if you got a job and you do the job and, it's, and John, you were sharing on the Discord that you've gone through, kick my clogs. You do a job your whole life, and it's in England it's honorable. In America, it's like, well, what have you done lately? It's like, wait, and maybe it's part of the business I'm in, but it's you kind of constantly have to be eyeing that next level up or that next thing or whatever. You met Prince Charles? That's funny. That's pretty cool. I've watched The Crown. We've just finished season 4 of The Crown. So good. So well made. And, of course, that season was all about Princess Di. So, I'm playing it around. That's crazy. There's no delay. Okay. So let's do this snippet. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a bracket around the G7 chord. So we're just going to play with the G7. And I'm going to do some licks. So here's... So that's just the G7 chord, the one chord in the key, in the G blues. Hang on, I'm trying to get my windows. Here we go. And so here's our snippet. That's a great note right there because that's a B flat. And technically, there's a B natural in that chord. So you're rubbing up against that. It wants to go to that. And if we were when we did the G mixolydian scale, we, over the G7, when we did that, the B is in there and there is no B flat. But the B flat is the one that is basically makes this a blues scale. I mean, that flat 9 too, or flat 5 too, but it's that rub that you get, that dissonance you get between the B flat and the B. And I want to go there, but our snippet is the top 2 strings, so I have to avoid that note just to stay on point. So play B flat, C, B flat. And you can go first and second, or first and third. Yeah, exactly. Growing old, but growing up, nah. If you want to go up to that B if you're really aching to do it. And you can get to it doing these 2 notes. You can get to it 2 ways. You can go below it or above it. So it was. See, I went C, B flat to B. Okay? Now we can do it the other way. We go. I went B flat to C to B. Right? Okay, but the B is not part of the scale. So we go. So what I did was I played 11, 13, 10, 13, 10. 11. Do that again. Start on 11. I kind of push that last note. That's called a push. Where you can push the beat, like horn. If I don't push, it just lands on the downbeat. Okay, that's F to D. So we're going from the 7th of the chord to the 5th of the chord. And that's one of those. You could do a chromatic run too. Here I'm turning my pick at a 45-degree angle. That's one of those times. It just seems to be faster that way. It also sounds different. Anyway. Okay, let's go to the C chord. We're going to have a different note there. So I'm going to move this boring jam track over. There's the C chord. Finally, get rid of that cymbal crash. It's annoying me. I'm annoying you, and that's annoying me, so it's kind of just okay. Now that B wouldn't work over the C chord. This is the 7th, and this is the root. So here we finally got a root. So just put your third finger on that 13th fret. There's your C, and then that B flat's the 7th. And again, I always use the 7th as an example of building tension and then releasing it, okay? It's your solo, so you can do what you want. And so one of the things I like to do is I really love pissing off my audience. but you can, watch, I'll just, right? That was tension. Tension, 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 release. When I go to that C, there is no more inside note over a C7 chord than the C note. That's like the most inside, in the pocket, dead-on note you can play over a C chord. But the 7th creates a little bit of tension because it wants to go to that C. Okay? So, but again, it's your solo. If you want to mess with people, you know? Yeah, so the E F. That's a very, very common trick in the blues to do that. Yep, to go to that. And that's very Mixolydian sounding. And that's the other part of the scale. So of this G minor pentatonic, a G minor 6 pentatonic, or as we affectionately call it, G meth pentatonic. We've got also the D to the E. This is the other part of the scale. Yeah. Very Jeff Beck. So just so you can practice that. You can even use just your first and third if you want. If you want to do that kind of spider crawling up the fretboard thing. Or you can stay in one position and use your second finger, pinky, first finger, and third finger. That would be called position playing. You're staying in, being very strict about the position. And the great thing about that little thing is it's a good exercise because it uses all 4 fingers. Okay? That's almost a really good little exercise. Okay, but then Jeff pointed out that E to F, and remember the G minor pentatonic was here. But see that note rubs against it. It wants to go there, but you can still have it. Again, that creates tension that wants to be resolved. But I love that E, F. Yeah, that is very Jeff Beck. It's like 3 308 jam or something. So I'm avoiding the D note over here. I can play it. It sounds like an F major scale almost. So play that. So play the 13 and 12. And that's part of the scale right here. Okay. See that? 13 and 12 there on the very top? You can slide it down like that and play those two notes of it. And that's the 7th and the 9th. Those are beautiful notes too. Isn't that cool? You like that, Jeff? Just discover and you go, wait, I've heard something like that before. That's cool. I have to remember that. Very, very, with a relative minor substitution pentatonic scale work. Relative minor to what? Because we're already in a minor. So the relative major would be B flat major. Pentatonic, B flat major pentatonic would work over the G minor, fine. But that's already what we're playing. The relative minor to C would be A minor. It's kind of what you're playing, except you don't have the B flat. So it wouldn't be a bad thing if that's what you're asking. Oh, sorry, I missed your question, Leo. Let me get rid of this jam track. We're going to go to the D chord next. Okay, the D chord is over here. All right. We get a big drum fill every time. All right, so Leo, a question. What can emotional context of each pentatonic scale? Yeah, the minor sixth, particularly over the G7 scale. So if I'm playing over over the G7, but the one chord. It's kind of a happy blues. It's kind of happy sad. So it sounds like an oxymoron, but yeah, definitely. And then the if I were to play the Mixolydian scale, it's only going to sound more. It's going to sound more jazzy, more country, maybe a little bit more sophisticated than the pure minor pentatonic. And again, you know, the blues, the whole point of blues in a lot of ways is to be unsophisticated. I'm not saying blues players are unsophisticated, but it's kind of like this. It's like, yeah, we know it's a wrong note, but just bear with us, right? There's no B flat in the G chord. Yeah, we know. That's why it's called blues. So yeah, there's definitely emotions that are created, and 100%. I feel like good music is emotional. Good music creates emotion or inspires emotion of the listener. Whether it's, I mean, when I listen to Arvo Part's Cantus for Benjamin Britten, which is just the most gorgeous piece. I can't get all the way through it without tearing up or choking up. It's so beautiful. And I recently saw the score for it, and I couldn't believe how easy it was. It was just, it's almost all quarter notes. It's all just descending major, C major scales. But the way he does it is just like, what the heck? It's so amazing. So music should be emotional, and different scales over different chords will create different emotions. You know, and I'm just thinking off the top of my head, you know, over a G7 chord, we can play G minor. Right? We can play G minor blues. We can play G6. G minor 6. I could play G major pentatonic. That's going to sound definitely happy. Or I could play G mixolydian. So, you know, just right there, there's, what was that, 5 different scales I could play over the G. I could play what I call kind of a mixolydian pentatonic, which is very, very Jeff Beck. And all that is with a G minor pentatonic that took all the B's up to, or B flats up to B's. So you get this. And that one sounds kind of Middle Eastern sound. It kind of, you know, has this or exotic sound to it anyway. Okay, so the D7, we're going to have this snippet over the D7. Right? We're going to be real tempted to play Layla. Yeah, exactly, Leo. That's exactly right. And I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily. There's another, you know, here's another road of, you know, another fork in the soloing road. It's like, well, is the guy that just uses one scale over all the chords, you know, unsophisticated? Not necessarily. Is the guy that's using 5 different scales or 7 different scales over sophisticated? No, not necessarily. But those are 2 different approaches. And when you know, one guitar player, you know, B.B. King might just be like, this is what I do. And so the one that uses probably the less to say what he has to say is probably more likely to be, and this is just my opinion, is probably more likely to be the artist, right? Because what they're really playing is their voice. B.B. King had a voice, Buddy Guy had a voice, Albert King had a voice, you know, name any blues guitar player, John Lee Hooker, they kind of did a lot of the same thing. If you were to transcribe their solos, you'd be like, wow, that's kind of the same thing. He did the same thing, but it was them. They were artists. They created this. That was their thing. And then you got a guy that comes in and, you know, maybe someone like Robin Ford, who I love is playing, but over the blues, he can take every approach. Same with Carl Verheyen, but Robin Ford in particular can really do that. Exactly. Artist versus technician. And Carl, you know, Carl's an artist. Robin Ford is an artist, but, you know, are they going to have the same impact of a B.B. King over time? And so it's, you know, and the origins of those, you know, Carl and Robin Ford stuff was more in the studio and working on lots of different styles of music. So they had all these different tools at their disposal. And B.B. King probably started out, and I don't know his life story, but, you know, he probably started out on a banjo or something. And like Django Reinhardt, and you know, he just kind of got, you know, found some licks and he started playing them, and that was, you know, and then he got famous. And it's like, well, then why change it? Why change what you're doing if you're B.B. King, you know? So, hey, Charlie. Freeway jam lit, yeah. Good. I'm glad. It's so easy to get the doldrums in this time of the year. So I've got the D chord bracket here with the drum fill. It sounds like it's going to go somewhere and it doesn't. Hilarious. Okay, so this is the scale. We love that, right? 10, 13, 10, 13. Okay, that's it. So we're going to go. Push that D note. A, C, D, F, D. Here's our C. Here's our dominant seventh, seventh of it. Play that. So 13 on the second, and then 10 on the first. Yep. Or a black and white picture and a color picture. resolve it. Just play the C. And your audience is really mad at you right now. Okay, now we'll resolve to the D this time. And everybody's like, finally. And then you go, see that? That's a grace note, Holly. It's a very B.B. King thing to do. Or go like this. Kind of bend that E string. Get that F kind of to F sharp. Now I'm playing the D minor 6. That's very B.B. King right there. So instead of playing the 13, I'm playing the 12. And again, there's tension. It wants to go to F sharp. To 14. So I'm just going A, B, C. A, B, C. And that's basically going like this. Same riff as that like standard 50s kind of rock and roll thing. But you would normally do it lower and you would normally have the root below it. That's hard. Don't do that. Okay. But you can put the root above it. See, I'm playing that note on top. Hey, Luca, good to see you. You just practice that little snippet there too if you want to get. Anyway, so we'll spend at least another lesson on this, and then we have one more group of scales to do in this whole set. So if we do a little bit of here, I can sing for you because I know how much you love when I sing. Okay? So memories at the corners of our mind. Okay, that was the first group of them right there. There's the next group, there's the next group, and here's this group. And let's see if I still have the Discord link. Oh, look at that. I still have the Discord link on my clipboard. So there it is. So you can go to the Discord link, and every one of, hey, Romero, every one of those scales I just showed you, they're all those shapes. Everything I've done on this live stream since COVID started, every paperwork that I've created, I've scanned and put up there, or any diagram I've put up there. So I just dragged those up there. They're just ping images. I did screenshots. You know, I created these in basically Word, but Pages, which is the Mac version of Word, and I created these and then did 2 screenshots. I'm just kind of lo-fi, high tech, and so I put up this. The great thing about that though is they're separate images, so you can drag them into a document. And you can put, you could do a page of the G minor pentatonics. You could go, okay, I'm going to grab that first one here up here, and then I'm going to grab this one, and then I'm going to grab this one, and then I'm going to grab this one, and we have one more coming. So once you have that, now you could have a page with all 5 of them on one page, and you could have that for the G, and you put that there, and then you can have, you do the same thing here with the G minor 6. You go, okay, I'm going to do a page of these, And the G minor 6 is the one we're using over the C7 chord. And then the D minor 7, or the D minor pentatonic down here, you can do a whole page of those. So we got, like I said, I'm going to do another day on these particular shapes. And then we're going to go one more position. And again, for the acoustic players, it might be a tad cramped. There is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there is nothing on the 11th fret. No, there will be nothing on the 11th fret. So we should be good to actually position the thing. Now you will have open strings. So you may have open strings if we did this. So I don't know. I probably won't put it in both positions, but you can figure it out, okay? Yeah, one more time to get the meth pattern. And what's the next one? I'm trying to think. The next one, so there'll be pentatonic number 5 for the G minor. Actually, that one sounds great. Ah, shoot. I mean, again, I don't usually play these scales in their entirety. Usually I just go to the notes in the scales. Oh, this is your first lesson. Well, Luca, welcome. Where are you located? I'm going to guess Italy, just based on your name. Oh, and then trying to play this on classical guitar, not working out for me. Oh, yeah, well, you just have to get another guitar. Hey, Tom Strahle said I had to get another guitar. So, honey, my biggest fear is that when I die, my wife will sell all my guitars for what I told her I paid for them. But yeah, so on classical guitar, these scales would be like, you know, we're definitely in kind of, it's even harder. Yeah, the next lesson is going to have you're going to have to transpose it down an octave. But yeah, this is definitely. So yeah, it's definitely not. These scales aren't necessarily, particularly up here, not designed great for classical guitars. Let's see, but hopefully you'll stick around and learn some more. Peter Anderson's back in the house. Good to see you, Peter. It's been a while. Yeah, you have been way too long. Oh, you're okay, right? You're not. You haven't been like on a ventilator anywhere, have you? I'm not laughing. No, really, I'm not laughing. It's just like. That would, be bad if, like, yeah, actually, Tom, I was on a ventilator for the last 3 months. What about it? It's like, oh, gee. Okay. Good night, everyone. Michael, what's going on? Show the D7 chord for the 2nd fret, D7 shape. You made mute the high E. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that one, basically what I'm doing on that one, and you can play the E. The E would make it a D9 chord. Really cool chord, actually. But it's not bluesy sounding. So if you were to play like this progression, and I changed guitars, so that's a sippable offense. We have a drinking game, and that's one of the rules. If I change guitars, we take a sip. So I forget the Addams Family Turkey Day one, but I have to look it up. So G7 is here, right? This is the E form bar, and then here and here. C7 was here. And then to keep this all in the same position, I play D7 this way. You could just slide this up. But again, if we're in this case, if I was trying to learn this position, it's good to learn chords in one position so you can kind of have conversations and not look at your hands and not accidentally go, oh, shoot. You mess up if you have to move up. Like if I went out to like this. I'm just getting lucky, to be honest. See, I didn't miss it, but that's the idea. Now the D7 one is based on the C. So if we play C, okay, so nothing on the bottom string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open G string, 1st fret, and open E string, and then you add your pinky on the 3rd string at the 3rd fret. That's the B flat. That's the 7th of the C chord. You play that just with the middle 4 strings. That's C7. As long as there's no open strings involved, this is totally movable. That's true of any chord. Go up a fret, that's C sharp 7. Here's D7. So that's the D7 I'm using. Here's E flat, E7. See, this is E7. I like that shit. And you can see the ninth, the really common ninth chord here. Like C9, be 3, 2, 3, 3. It's a beautiful chord. And you can see how you get to it. You got 3, 2, 3, and then 1, and you take that 1 up 2 frets, and you get this chord. And I always say that's the James Brown chord right there. And you can also play it instead of this way. You can lay down your finger, third finger, play it, so you get the top string too. Hit me. You can practice my rasgatos. That's one of the things that I'm working on, that I know as I'm doing them, I'm really digging in way too hard, you know. Because you look at flamenco guitar players and they do these things and they're like, it's like and it's like, how do they do that? And it's like they're so relaxed when they do it, and that's always the key, is to relax. And when you're learning something new and you're trying to get it faster, it's like that's the last thing that happens. And then like you gotta just relax. So you know, I'm trying to do my rasgatos without overreaching. Like I'm throwing my pinky way too far out. Like I don't think, when I watch them play, it looks like their hands just like this the whole time. You can't. It's just a blur. I don't even see their fingers come out. You know. Exactly. But this flamenco thing's new for me. I didn't start learning flamenco until a few years ago. I mean, I played classical guitar in college. And there were really, my teacher never really gave me any flamenco elements. Now when they teach classical guitar in college, they teach flamenco elements as well. So it's all part of the plan. Yeah, Paco Pena and Django Reinhardt. I mean, it's like, it's just insane fire, you know. That's kind of my heritage a little bit. And so kind of have a little gypsy in my system, Eastern European. My grandfather was definitely, and he actually, my grandfather was a really good piano player, like could play by ear, but he rarely played. I mean, and then my grandmother on my mom's side was a piano teacher, and I had that piano that was my grandmother's, but when my mom moved out here and sold her house, I didn't have a place for it, so I had to sell it. It was a Steinway Grand, and I didn't get hardly anything for it because it was in very disrepair. It was over 100 years ago. It was 100 years old, over 100 years old when I sold it. And it's a model, is it a Model C? It basically, if I bought that piano today brand new, it would be $85,000. The same piano, they still make it. And so I could have it for $40,000. I could have sent it to Steinway, and they would have picked it up at my mom's house, taken it to Steinway, and worked on it for like 6 months, and then send it to wherever I wanted in California. But at the time, we didn't have a house. And even now with the house, I'm like, where would I put that thing? I mean, it just was so massive. But I probably would have put it in the bonus room or something, but I don't know. Yeah, Paco Pena is freaking amazing. That's so, and how fast he plays with the two, gosh, unbelievable. So, okay, so we've kind of gone over those. What are some of these other, oh look. Memories. Look at all these scenes I still have. That was one of my favorite lessons right there. You can't really see this thing here, but it's, that right there is crazy. That's like, what? That's the slide thing. If you're in open, that's for open G tuning. That doesn't apply to standard tuning. If you're in open G tuning, that's like, oh, that's cool. Everything's a whole step down or above except the fourth. So anyway, memories. We've covered so much ground in these is it 142? Is that where I'm at? Yeah, 142. We've covered so much ground over the last 42 lessons. Here in Madrid, a lot of folks don't know him. He lives in London. Oh, what a great player, Paco Peña. Yeah. Oh, you had a lesson with one of his students about 30 years ago. Yeah, I've talked about this before. I would love to spend a month in Andalusia and study flamenco. I just don't think that's ever going to happen. I mean, if I was retired and had money, it would be happening right now. So I would be in southern Spain right now, maybe Morocco, maybe Gibraltar, but I would be in southern Spain right now studying flamenco. But with the fact that I have to work for a living, that may not ever happen. So, several questions above from Vito and John. Oh, sorry. Vito, what's your question, man? Oh, that's great. I'm glad you still have Dr. Rock. I'm glad you still have the classical chops. My chops aren't as good as they once were. So wait. Okay, so from who? Several questions above from Vito and John Y. All right, they're my question guys. Vito, where are you, Vito? Okay, are ninth chords usable in the blues context? Not generally. Not generally. You could. I mean, in a jazz blues, and like, well, it depends. I mean, I think Stormy Monday. I mean, I kind of, like you. Those are all ninth chords. But those I would call that more of a jazzy kind of way to play the blues. But when you look at Stormy Monday, we can call it Stormy. What he did for the four chord, I think was a C9 chord. So, but Tuesday's just as bad. They call it Stormy Monday. Tuesday's just as bad. Wednesday was. I don't know the words, I think. And Thursday's also sad. See, there's a ninth chord, minor seventh, D9. And then there was this cool lick that. It's like the best lick in the song. And it's like. Just works so nice over that turnaround to the four chord. So it's like freaking magic. Okay, so I think I got John's question, and then Vito. I'm looking for your question, Vito. Vito, maybe ask it again. Where the heck did you go? Boy, Vito's question must be way up here. And I apologize that I don't see the questions right away. Sometimes everything goes by, the text thread kind of moves fast. Vito's got an arrow pointing up. Oh, I see there is. What is the minor to major pentatonic scale trick with the pinky? The minor. That. Okay. So what I did there was I got John. I think I got John's. Oh, you're right, Tom. Very jazzy sounding. Yeah. And that's totally fine. You still got to do your own research stuff. But yeah, basically on the G minor pentatonic that I was doing here. Sorry, let me get my windows ordered. Like this one. If you take those B's and make them, I mean B flats here, here, and here, and you go up a fret with those, it makes for a big stretch. That one's not so bad. Instead of there, we're going here. And then, so yeah, you're actually playing more inside, actually. You're playing notes that are actually more in the chord, and you're taking away that the tension that the flat third creates, and kind of creates that blues sound. But you're getting something that sounds a lot more, to me, more exotic. Jeff Becky, which is a great call. Whoever said Jeff Beck, I forget who said that now. Oh, it's Jeff. Hi, said Jeff Beck. And so yeah, that's the trick. So you just take the minor third and go up a half step, and you get a what I kind of would call that. I'm sure if I looked it up, it would probably be called something like a Mixolydian pentatonic, because it definitely is 5 of the 7 notes in a Mixolydian scale. Okay. So too fast for Dennis or me to flag. Oh yeah, no, it's totally fine. Dennis doesn't flag questions anyway. Dennis just drops the hammer. That's his job. Bruce is taking his job. Yeah. Bruce takes his job very seriously about making sure I see questions, which I totally appreciate. Pay me, pay me, pay me. My money down. T-Sat and John. Bruce, I've been here a couple times before, subbed. Oh, good. Just was away from home and guitars for a few months. Oh, dang, dude. Are you like an oil rigger? If I was an oil rigger, would I be able to take my guitar with me? That's a job. I actually played on the movie. I don't know if you ever saw the movie. Play guitar on the movie. In fact, I'm working for that composer right now. What was the movie about the fire on the oil rig out in the Gulf? Hold on. It's usually right here on my IMDb. Nope, it's not. Wow. Kind of done a lot of stuff, but most of these things don't pay residuals, which is a bummer. Okay, Transformers last night. Okay, so it was after that, I thought. Deepwater Horizon. Somebody already said that, right? Deepwater Horizon. So I played on a movie called Deepwater Horizon. But welcome back. Anyway. X-Rec just arrived. Greeting from Greece. Good to see you. Yeah, we're pretty much finishing up now. I'm just kind of answering some questions here and there. Yep, Peter Anderson, that was a movie. Yeah, so I played on it. It was actually pretty good. Wahlberg. I pretty much play on all the Mark Wahlberg movies because he works with the same director, and the director uses the same play something. Okay. I'll play some more of those blues using those scales that we're, oh, well, I got to put the scales we're working on today. 10th position. Tom starts at 8. I start the lesson at 18 minutes. Yeah. Oh, or 18 o'clock. Oh, the time. Okay. No, it's probably 18 minutes in is about when I start teaching the lesson. Okay, so I got to do... So there's our basic blues progression. And I'm using these scales. I'm changing the scale to fit the chord. using all the sevenths and create tension. So, okay. I knew that's what you meant, Dennis. But it is true. I do probably start the lesson around 18 minutes into the lesson. Mainly because I'm waiting for people to show up. I hate to have all these people ask questions. Well, when are you going to go over that first scale? I went over the first scale in the first minute of the lesson. Oh, well, I was late. Okay, so I just figured, well, let's wait till the class shows up. I'd be an awful teacher. I'd be like, just let the kids would just show up. You guys would just show up at like, yeah. Oh, no, that's Mr. Strahle's class. He's cool. No, I can get there at 10:30. What time's the class? Oh, 9. It's like, dang it. Singing's good. Let's see. Oh, you'll definitely be here on Monday. Okay, great. Yeah, we'll spend some more time on these shapes. These specific, not these shapes. These specific shapes, we'll spend some more time on them on Monday. Right? Today's Friday. Oh, gosh, this week's all jacked up. Just totally messed up. But we filmed our Christmas services on Tuesday. So we're going to air them on Christmas Eve. They're going to air them every hour. You're going to be able to see, not live, but. And then we're going to do. But then I had Thanksgiving, and it's just like, so crazy. When is the next live stream? No, Monday. Monday, my time, 9 o'clock, Lord willing, if I'm alive. So Monday, 9 a.m. Los Angeles time, which is Pacific. So that would be in London, that would be 6 p.m. Right? Jerry O, what's going on? Georgia, all right. Georgia the state or Georgia the country? Oh, I'm glad you'll be here. I just discovered these lessons. I know it's crazy. I apologize that they're so long. Oh my gosh, these lessons are. I mean, some of these are 2.5 hours long, and I'm really obviously, I'm teaching about 30 minutes out of the whole 2 hours. And some of the teaching is just me playing and showing you that. It's kind of like the really lame guitar teacher that would teach you how to play a chord progression so he could practice soloing. We all had those teachers, And but it's not so much like that because I'm really, really sticking to a specific scale set so that you can watch my hands and you can not even so much watch my hands, but more hear musically what's happening. That's really what we're doing here. We're trying to. The whole premise of this series right now of the 3 pentatonics is to create a different sound, use a different pentatonic for each scale. It's good for your brain. It's good for your brain to go, oh, okay, I got to change this. But they're not rules. These are not rules. These are options. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's totally becoming a community, Holly. Exactly. It did that a long time ago. I mean, gosh, but there are people that are no longer with us. I mean, not in a bad way, but I mean, they started out with Bruce's. You've pretty much been here from day one, and Dennis has definitely been here from like day one. Rick's been around for a long time. Rick Forster. Peter, you've come and gone. Peter's he's been here at times and then not. And let's see, Darren's been here for quite a while. So there's a lot of familiar faces, so to speak. Charlie B has been around. Vito's been around a long time. David Sillers has been around a pretty long time. And Leo, Jeff Height. And I think Jeff was here like early and then was gone for a while and then came back just because of life, in general. And I also changed times. Originally, I was at 11, so I think Bonnie and Jim were able to be here when I was at 11. They're not able to do this at 9 o'clock, or they're working. Kathy was working and stuff. Kathy was my original moderator, so we really miss her. And Diane is also not able to be here, and she was the one that prompted me to tell stories every lesson. So, yeah, and I think if you click the bell, it'll let you know I'm on. You'll get a reminder, but I know that can be annoying sometimes too. So I don't generally do that. What else? Darren. Darren's. we have answered that question twice. Oh, DK, what was the question? I missed it. Oh, it's probably a question within there. Oh, when's the next live stream? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's all right. So yeah, I've been going Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at this point, and sometimes I have to move things around. Like a couple Fridays ago, I had to go somewhere. And then there's a slight chance I'll be out of town after Christmas, but we'll see. I may know more today, but it's one of those things I probably can't talk about. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut at this point. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, East Coast, it would be noon. Yeah, work is that's good. Hey, be thankful you got a job right now. So many people are struggling. So I'm grateful for the work I do have. Just got to get my clients to pay me. That would be great. Accounts payable, right? But yeah, Pepper was here for a little bit, wasn't she? She chimed in for a second. I see her. She was here yesterday. Oh, there she is. Yeah, she was there earlier. John Y's been around for a little while. Jay Wire. Jay, I don't know if Jay's still here, but Jay, he pops up every now and then. That that looks really familiar. But D Guitar, I think you've been around a couple times before, right? Or is this your first? Max, you've been around. That's right. I don't know if anyone that's here now has been on since lesson 1. I can, actually, speaking of memories, so if I pull up, let me go to that's almost be hard to do, to find that first live stream. If I click on views, it'll sort by views, or I can flip the date. Here's lesson 1. Let me click on this. View on YouTube, okay. It's going to play an ad or something. Yeah, there's an ad. Guitar Center ad, right? Yeah. Special X style acoustics. Skip ad. Okay. So, no thanks. Okay, so if I go to the end of the video, let's see who was there.
None of us have been tested, but
Pepper. Pepper was there. Keith R. That's right. McQuell. You were there today, I think. Michelle Ringrose. So that's Bruce. So Bruce was there, first lesson. TJ Anderson. Oh my gosh, that's right. Diane was in the first lesson. That's crazy. Joe Hervey. I don't remember him being. But yeah, Diane was there. TJ. Pepper's all over the place. Let's see. Mark McKeever. I haven't seen him in a while. Zeter. I remember that person, but I don't remember how long they were around. So that's crazy. So yeah, Bruce, you were there day 1. Yeah. But you were using your wife's login. Yeah, I appreciate it. All the long haulers. It definitely is nice. So I'll end this here, and we'll pick up on Monday. We're gonna go over this again. Okay, so we're gonna review this. I'll play them, and then I think Wednesday we'll do the last set of 3 scales, and those will be at the 12th fret. So if you just subtract 12 from every note. Anything that's on the 12th fret, you play in open position. I'll show them to you. I won't write them out, but I'll show them to you when we do them. Okay? And what's the origin of there won't be a quiz of this? The origin is basically because one of the struggles as a teacher is that you know more than your students generally on the subject that you're teaching. And oftentimes, it's a lot more than your students. And you sometimes let things slip out that are um, you know, they're just not. It's not critical that they know it for this moment, and it's a piece of information that just kind of fell out of your mouth because it's pertinent, but it doesn't. It doesn't really isn't necessary to know for that very moment. And so I'd be like, dang it, I don't want to confuse you guys, so don't worry about it. There won't be a quiz on it. So I just pinned this. You can buy the mug. A couple people have bought the mug, and it says there won't be a quiz on this. And I started saying it, and then I decided, I needed a catchphrase a few months back, and I said, okay, here's my catchphrase. So you can have that mug, and there's T-shirts. I think you can order T-shirts and all that stuff. So, yeah. So, thanks, David and Peter. Thank you so much, Luca. Thank you so much, and you're very, very welcome. 1,000. You can just click on that link. I just posted a link there in the live chat. So if you click on that link, you should be able to buy it. So the Teespring account, or if you go to any of my videos, it's actually under the video description. There's, I think, or at the top of the video description, there's that. And I need to see those designs are all mine. It's like, I'm just like, all I did was do Helvetica, center it. Okay, that looks good. That's all, like there's no massive thing going on. But what I need to do is I thought you could order it in different colors, but I don't know if you can. Can you, somebody check that out for me and let me know Monday. But like if you click on a T-shirt, can you change it to a white on black instead of black on white? Because I just did black and white, and I thought it was like you could choose any color option or something like that. But I think if I log in, it'll just go, oh, you're the creator. So I'm like, no, I don't want to create, I want to buy. But I had to buy one of these cups myself. Now I got it for a discount because I didn't get. They gave me the. Like, what is it, $14.99? I think I get $7 on this. So I get about almost half of the total price. And so that's, not bad. I feel like that's a pretty good return on investment. You're still waiting for Tom's guitar picks. I have Alex's, but I can't show it to you because I got to keep this family friendly. So he'll have to do that on his channel. You'll have to, it might be, theme. We might, the sippable offense. You know what? But that would be a lot of stuff on there. I just maybe Gary and I can pick out the top 10 sippable offenses, but it would be pretty small. Still be pretty small font, unless we got a big mug. But even then, it would be small font. So, okay. Well, I will see you guys later, Monday hopefully. And if I can't be on Monday, I'll try to make a post on Discord and on the Facebook page to say, hey, I won't be able to do Monday. If I can't do Monday, I may do Tuesday or something like that. Make it work, okay? But it's been 2 hours, and I'm tired. I was tired. Boy, I was really tired when I started. See how much you guys give me energy, and then Starbucks too. So I steal all your energy. You're all tired now because I got all your energy. That's what I do. I'm an energy stealer. So let's see. My T-shirt is holding up really well. Oh, good. Oh, that's right. You got get lots of comments. Yes. That's funny. Yeah, there won't be a quiz on this. People are like, what does that mean? Yeah. So, but yeah, check and see. Did somebody answer that question already? You can order different colors, or do I need to? I may need to design a white on black or white on. There's some really nice colors, some beautiful greens and blues and browns. And so I would like to do that. So I think, I don't know if I have to design or if you guys can do, okay, I can change the font or the color and all that. So I wish it were like, if it's not like that, it should be. Okay. Anyway, I keep saying bye and then not checking out. All right, ending stream now.